What got me into tarot is like, I've always had a feeling that like I always wanted to read tarot. Actually, I didn't know about tarot until I went to go see a psychic. I'm not even gonna lie about that. When I went to go see a psychic in my psychic experience, it was interesting because it's like she kind of confirmed things that I already knew, and it was helpful because I was like, oh, I already know these things, and I kind of felt good because I'm like, oh, this feels like a confirmation, and it felt nice, it felt comforting. Like, I know a lot of us are scared to go to psychics, I know, because even the first day that I decided to go, it's always in the back of my head to go, but the first day I finally decided to go, I was just like, damn, like, I know, like, I felt like a calling was telling me, like, Penny, there's more to this world, and you know that there's more, but like, I just needed that extra confirmation. Don't get me wrong, don't always go to they're not always going to be right, but I knew that I had some gift that I wanted to explore, and the only way I can confirm it was to get this confirmation, to see if it was real, to get somebody who actually is very intuitive. So I'm like, why not? Let's see what's gonna happen if I go see a psychic, right? I didn't know what to expect, and as I got there, I noticed that like she just pulled out her deck, her cards, right? And she just literally told me to shuffle them. Don't get me wrong, I was shaking, I was nervous, okay? She told me to shuffle them, so I was like, okay, let me shuffle. I couldn't even shuffle the cards because I was nervous. I'm like, what the heck is going on? You know, like, as a girl who went to church all her life, it was just like, oh my gosh, you can't do that, it's a sin. It's like, why is it a sin? What am I doing wrong? You know what I mean? Why is knowing about my life a sin? It just didn't ever make sense to me. And it was just like, I always had a calling to go because I felt like I needed that confirmation. And it's okay, you're not gonna die, you're not gonna get hurt if you go in and ask about your life, or ask about that thing that's bothering your soul. Ask about, because once I stepped in there and I heard the messaging that came out that woman's mouth, I felt so like, I felt like that weight that was on my chest, or whatever the questionings or whatever weight that was on my chest, had been lifted. Like somebody just pulled the darkness out of my chest. All the missing answers, all the things that like I was worried about, was all lifted, you know? And at that moment I was like, wow, like I know there's a God, I know God exists, okay? And when I walked in there, this is the advice I want to give you two guys. When you're going to see a psychic, always make sure that like in the psychic room that they have pictures of God. Well, not God, they have pictures of Jesus, because nobody knows what God looks like, but you just have pictures of Jesus, not no demonic shit. You don't see that stuff, okay? If you do see it, or it's not a good place for you to be there, you shouldn't be there in the first place, okay? But a real psychic will have pictures of Jesus, will have pictures of, I don't know, like things from the Bible, you know what I mean? Like those things. And just know that it's a good place to be, because if it wasn't, those things wouldn't even sit there. You know what I mean? You just know in your heart that it's a safe place. Once you walk into the place, you'll know in your heart that the place is good. You'll know, because as human beings, we have our own intuitions that will guide us and let us know that where we're going is a good place. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Okay? Because at first, like, I did my research. I'm like, okay, if I go to this place, what is it gonna tell me? I had my, you know, but like the way my life was moving at the time, I needed answers. Like, let me tell you guys what was happening in my life, okay? Like at the moment, I was going to work. It was embarrassing. I was going to work. I felt like there's a transition that I had to do, and I just could not figure it out, okay? My work wasn't going well. Like, I was getting paid okay, but I think God was trying to shake me up and tell me, like, you're too comfortable. You need to make a move, right? You need to make a move. You know what God sent me? You know what Spirit sent me? The Holy Spirit sent me roaches, okay? Roaches were following me at my work. You think it was a joke? I never experienced this in my life, guys. Correct me. There was roaches at my work, but I think there was also roaches at my friend's house. Yeah, one of my friends had roaches at her house. I know it sounds insane, but like for some reason, like these roaches kept following me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what type of, like, who put this on me? Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, I felt like there was something trying to push me or telling me to leave certain situations in my life. And then even at my workplace, they were following me, and I said, no, this is not right. My life is not like this. Let me tell you guys something. When there's a transitioning needing to happen in your life and you don't listen, Spirit will send you things like that to make you so uncomfortable for you to have to make a move. And then I was like, damn, yo, like, I don't even know what's happening. These roaches are following me at my work. They're at my girl's house. They're starting to come into my house. It's like, what? Right? So at that moment, I couldn't. I said, no, I have to leave this job. They're paying me, but this is not my life. And at this moment, I was like leaving. I was transitioning from leaving work to go back to school, right? And I'm like, you know what? I have to leave. My time's running up. It got to the point where they even started to call like those roach terminators at the workplace, because they're like, there's only 5 people living in the office. Why is there roaches? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where are they coming from? So thankfully nobody expected it was me, but it was me. Because at a point I found one in my purse and I was so embarrassed, but then I tried to kill it. So embarrassing, but this is my truth, and that's what I'm gonna speak. And yeah, like, I never experienced that, and they were just like everywhere. So at this moment I'm like, okay, I need to quit this job because Spirit's telling me like I need to go somewhere. So this is the time where I'm just like, okay, I need to go see a psychic, you know. And I was trying to move out at the time with one of my girls too, and she's like, oh yeah, come live with me. But even the roaches started to come into her house. She was like infested, okay? So I was just like, okay, Spirit doesn't want me to move in with her, clearly, because there's something about her that's not, it's not good. Or it's not even about her that was not good. It was just something about that energy together. It's just, we're not good together, you know what I mean? There's something. Or maybe she wasn't a good person at the time for me to be around, right? Because I absorb energy, and a lot of the times I'm so sensitive that I tend to, I don't know, become the people that I'm around. Like, I absorb the energy that I'm around. Like, yeah, right? So I think that wasn't good at the time. So anywho, back to the stories. I went to go see a psychic, and then when I went to go see the psychic, I was so scared. But I walked in, and then I was just like, okay. She's like, okay. I remember I went with one of my guy friends, and then she's just like, okay, can you come back? I was like, oh my god, I'm already scared shitless, and you want me to come back? And like, it took me forever to come here. So I was like, okay, fine. So I left, and then I went to go get some Subway, and then she's like, I'm so sorry, like, I have things going on in my house right now. I just need to fix a couple of things, and then you can come back and I'll read your whole life story. That's what basically she told me. Like, I got a good deal for you. I'll read you your whole life story, good price, yada yada yada. I was like, cool. So I went to go get some food, came back, and at that moment, when I think about it, this is the thing, like, when people like that, they need time to absorb your energy. They need time to absorb your like, who's this person, where did they come from, like, you know, because you can't welcome everybody within your space, right? So intuitively, that's what I felt as well. So as I got there, she's like, I think she only said like, oh, come back in like 10 minutes or whatever. So I came back in 10 minutes, and then like one of my guy friends actually came in the room with me, because I didn't want to go in the room by myself while she was reading me. I'm new to this stuff, like, you know, like, I'm like, can he come in too? Like, you know, she's like, yeah. So she went on. Let me tell you guys, I prayed that day, and I prayed that maybe like a day before that. And let me tell you, the same prayer that I had prayed to God was the same prayer that she had recited to me. She's like, oh, I know that the other day you prayed. Or she's like, you made a prayer. No, she didn't even say prayer. She just said, you said you want this, you said you want that, you said you want that. And she's like, they're all gonna come. It's all gonna happen. You know what I mean? And she's like, it was just like that confirmation. I was like, oh. And yeah, some people be like, oh yeah, there's you know, everyone has their own contradictions of why she gets the messages, but why is it that things that people can't explain, they're always trying to say it's bad, is from the devil? Why? Because they're scared. They want some confirmation. If they can't do it, they want to say it's bad, it's from the devil. People are some weird beings. But anyways, a side note from that, everything she said I knew was good and I knew was right, because at the end of the day, I'm just like, what's so wrong about this stuff? And then the funniest thing that caught me too was when she was just like, you're stressing about money, don't even worry about it. There's money coming in a week. You're gonna get a check. Like, it's been sitting there, you're gonna get it. Tell me why that within that week I got a check from my college saying that I had money left over, and I also got a credit card that had $7,000 on it that I did not even like ask, like did not even see that I was gonna get approved, you know? And I was just like, whoa. So it was just like, it was interesting that she knew those things. But I honestly believe that like people like that receive messages and they're intuitive. And if you continue to build that connection with God and you start to listen to yourself and you start to listen to your body, you'll start to, and if you ask God, like you talk to God and ask God, okay, I want to have a relationship with you, or like you're very intuitive and you want to take the time to have that connection with God, God will give you those gifts. Like even me, like I took the time to want to understand these cards. I wanted to take the time to, I'm like, oh, I could never do this stuff, you know? But it's not even about that. It's like you got to be confident and believe in what you're doing. And I'm still working on it. Like sometimes I'm just like, oh, am I doing this correctly? I'm not perfect, because at the end of the day I'm only human and I can only listen and absorb the messages that God gives me and be able to portray it to the person. And it's my intuition. No human is perfect, especially when these messages are coming in. We are not perfect. We're only giving what we know, and it's not pressure. If it resonates, it's gonna resonate. You're gonna know if that message is meant to be given to you by God. Your senses are gonna know. You're gonna be called to it. You're gonna want a reading. You're gonna want to have clarification, and that's okay to explore. We're in this world not to be perfect. We're in this world to learn. We're in this world to teach. We're not here to just listen to rules and listen to regulations and listen to people tell us everything is bad. No, it's not bad. We're here to learn, and it's okay. Ask. Pray, ask God, ask your angels, ask, and the answers will be given. God will send you somebody to give you the answers. God will send you somewhere. When God wants to send you somewhere, he'll send things to come bother you. Send things to be like, girl, you need to wake up and listen and pay attention, and I have messages for you. Listen to those things. Listen, you know you're going to be called to go somewhere, and go. Okay, don't second guess yourself. What the lady told me always, she said your first thought is the correct thought. And that has stuck with me till today, because me, I've always been an indecisive person. I've always been so indecisive. I've never known like what to pick, what to do. But always, she said, the first thought, the first thing you wanted, the first thing that came in your head is what you want. And I was like, oh. And ever since that day, I've always been knowing how to make decisions. Right? So it's just like, yeah, like that woman helped me out a lot. She's not around. I heard she moved to Florida. I don't know, but she was like, she helped me during those times. I'm not gonna lie. And like, even at that time, I was in a very dark space dealing with somebody I was dating with, and just, I was like, how did she explain it? She explained it like in a gray area, when everything around you looks dark. Everything around you is gray. You don't see light. The light has been sucked out of you, like just in a dark gray. You like, when you're in that depressive state, you don't see color. Everything is black and white. It's like a dark cloud has been hovering over you this whole time. And the way she explained it was exactly what I was going through, because I was depressed, right? And I was hurt, I was brokenhearted, and I was going through a life transition, and I needed to leave something behind, like, but that was the beginning of my transition, and that was the beginning of my awakening, right? And I didn't know how to deal with it. And I always knew that I had some type of gift or I had a connection, but I just didn't, at the time, trust anything. I smile each day, and I'm happy because, you know what? I'm me again. And it wasn't easy. And my light shines. My skin's been better now, because it's just like, I'm in the process of taking care of myself. I'm me again. And once you let go of the old ways of living and letting go of those toxic things, toxic people, things will start to change. Look, my skin's getting better. Acne's gone. My eating's okay. Like, it's not the best, but it's okay. But everything is just glowing now, because I found me, right? And this is a life journey. Like, everything that I told you guys about psychics and all those things, like, I went through those things, and I've learned that I have the gift within me, right? And God wanted to show me that, and I have them through dreams, and I'm able to read. Like, I'm pretty good at it. Like, you know, I'm working on it. I'm not perfect, but I'm able to read in a sense. I don't know how, but like it's just something that I just know. I can't explain it. And even my friends were like, maybe you should be like a reader, you know, you're really good at this. Like, how do you know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you, like, it's not even explain. Like, when people ask me, like, I don't know, it's just is. Like, you know, like, it just is. And the cards come out at the right timing. It's like, for example, if I'm saying the spread and it comes out, like the card comes out, reading tarot is not easy because you have to learn each card. And each card has to mean something to you. So, of course, when you do that, each card means something to you, and then you're able to like explain it and then read it on your own. But I'm still in the process of learning. I'm not the best. The best deck that I've been using right now, or that I received from another psychic or someone online, this was the first deck that I ever got, and she gave it to me for like $13, and she sent it to my house. And this deck was the easiest deck because it was easy and simple. It's like tarot and oracle cards in one. The psychic tarot oracle deck. So I was able to start from here, and this helped me to actually read actual tarot. So it's helpful, easy. Not everybody likes it, but I like it because it's easy to read and I understand it. So that's all that matters. And I use this deck to read for people, and they're like, oh shoot, like how'd you know that? But it's not me knowing it. It's just the connection, okay? It ain't me, you know? It's just what it is. And I don't know, it's like when you're a good person and you choose to be good things will come your way. And it's just what it is. It's not luck. It's just choosing to be a good person and understanding, and like just doing it, just being good. Just be good and everything will be okay. And pray to God, pray to your angels. No one's perfect here. Nobody has the answers, okay? Look within. Talk to God, talk to your angels. They'll tell you what to do. You'll know. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. That was me ranting about my psychic experience. But if you have more questions about it and you want to get into it and want to know more, just subscribe, message me, email me, whatever it is we need to do, and we can talk the things them. Okay, bye.